Let's go. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Thank you to be there this afternoon. Hope you're doing well. So today with my colleague Loïc and Joel, we will cover with you a big topic that was happened this last year and last maybe half a year, transforming the Managed Kubernetes Services inside OVHcloud. And we will tell you the story of what's happened, the different challenges we met during the way. We will introduce you also what was the context first, and then give you some insight and conclude by a Q&A session to explain more in details if you have questions after that. So the agenda of today, we will kickstart by a bit of advertising. Sorry for that, guys. Just to re-explain you, if you don't know OVHcloud, what we are doing in public clouds, what we are today, where we are, and what is the journey we have. And then we will deep dive more with Joel and Loïc in the topic matter that's today, to explain you more in details what was the transformation we made on the Managed Kubernetes Platform Services during this last year. So just a few minutes, just a quick introduction of who we are today. So myself, Maxime, I'm product marketing manager for public cloud ecosystem in OVHcloud. I'm taking care about all of the marketing and sales stuffs, and also working with the product team and the different people inside the research development to be sure we met the customer exigencies in terms of product. And
Hi, I'm Loïc. I'm in the Managed Kubernetes team, so I'm the technical leader. So on the infra part and manage the product. Sorry.
Hello, my name is Joel, and I'm working at OVHcloud since 2029. And as this slide doesn't show, I'm not a SRE engineer, but I work as an architect in the public cloud teams, which work with several projects around Kubernetes Rancher and registry.
thank you, guys. So let's just introduce who we are, OVHcloud in the landscape of public cloud. So we start like already more than 10 years working with OpenStack to deliver public cloud infrastructure and services to majority of customers in Europe to start. Now we are international. We chose this paradigm because we think that OpenStack it's very portable. You can use it and use it probably anywhere. That's one of the key elements of OpenStack. Our resources that we deliver also on the OpenStack infrastructure is very flexible. So now you can start a virtual machine which is built by year or by months regarding the different use case. We have a large range of reference. So basically you can use it for any use case you may have, for compute, for RAM, or for storage. We have a lot of different flavors. It's obviously highly variable, so now we have different kind of region where you can have like multi-zonal deployments. We have also local zone now if you need like more latency issue to meet your latency issue. So there is plenty of solution that we deliver through OpenStack as of today. Let's now more focus on the container ecosystem, because Managed Kubernetes, obviously, services in OVHcloud is part of a more global container ecosystem of product we have on top of OpenStack again. Managed Kubernetes Services is one of them, is the oldest one. We work with Managed Kubernetes Services since 2019, and now it's fully compatible with a large range of other products inside the ecosystem of public cloud, such like block storage, object storage, managed database, and now we even release a file storage solution in beta, in alpha, sorry. So don't hesitate to go on the website to try if you want. And also we have another services that we launched very recently with Rancher that help you to get rid of the multi-Kubernetes, multi-cloud management burden. And it's totally open source. Again, all of the tools we propose, like Rancher and the registry based on Arbor, is totally open source. So we don't reinvent the wheel. We just offer you the best open source tool in a managed way. And it's all available in different locations we have internationally. So just conclude on that in terms of KPIs, just to give you an hint of the size of the infrastructure we have on top of Managed Kubernetes Services. Now we deploy more than 6,500 clusters for customer. Most of our customers are based in France, but also now we have a footprint internationally, which also proves that the services works even outside the frontier of France. So that's good. And all of this is also working with other like network solution like load balancer, because without Managed Kubernetes, without like a network solution and block storage solution, you can have a full experience of your Kubernetes. And that's why now we are offering those kind of services everywhere where all of the managed services are available. So now let's deep dive on the story, and I introduce.
Okay, let's deep dive in the technical part, and just to give you some context, we will present you how was our infrastructure 2 years ago. Okay, so if I take the place of a customer when I just want to create a cluster Kubernetes, I will make a call on an API which is exposed by an internal OVHcloud information system, and this query will then go to the main and major component, and we will talk about this major component. Its name is Shipyard. Shipyard is just here to doing all tasks which is related to how we should create and manage and upgrade, manage the life cycle of a cluster Kubernetes. As you can see, this component will deploy and configure the control plane part of a Kubernetes cluster. We also, this component will also create and request the etcd storage. He will deploy the provision worker node, which are instantiated on public cloud OpenStack infrastructure, and push configuration on it. It's also able to manage which are named add-ons, and this add-on will be deployed on the kubadmin cluster, which is used as administration platform by our team, but also on the customer side, on the worker node, which are managed for our customer. These add-ons are here to allow, for example, the binding of volume, management of load balancer, and so and so. This Shipyard component, as we already told, is the reason why we have decided to just revamp our platform, and this is the main reason. After more than five years, we have observed that this component was more and more difficult to manage, to upgrade, to operate on a daily basis. It was written in Python and used a workflow engine, and lot of behavior around this component was really more and more a pain for our team, as by instance, when we do major change on production, for example, we encounter some outage or not wanted behavior. And this is why we just want to replace it, to be able to maybe use another project which can be open source, and also change the main paradigm which is behind this component, as until the revamping of this component, we just use engine workflow to handle tasks which are executed to manage a lifecycle of cluster. And as we have seen, new projects are doing that simpler and better just by relying on the concept of the reconciliation loop, which is the main concept of all projects around Kubernetes project.
So now we see all the problems what we had, but we need to rethink something. So first, we knew for a few years now, not 2 years ago, but a long time, that shipyard was an issue for us. But we needed a declic to try to plan and work on it. So the main declic we had was we had a roadmap was packed with features, a lot of things to do. So a few are listed here, but we need to be FreeAZ because in OVH we released some FreeAZ region some times ago now, but MKS, the Managed Kubernetes, was not compatible with this region. Sorry, so we needed to work on that. Provide a new CNI. So we offer Calico, but Cilium was highly requested, so we needed to work on that too. We needed better upgrade UX to allow for better strategy like max search and things like that. And in general, improve control plane resiliency. So FreeAZ was for that, but we needed to work. And alongside that, we needed to keep our platform up to date. So keeping our customer cluster up to date, our admin cluster up to date, our component working deployed on this cluster up to date, and the library of the component we developed up to date too. So that was a lot of work to do. And to implement this in shipyard was really complicated, and would have taken a lot of time. And so with ETA risk, and the roadmap will be really slow, and what was the declic for us to try to speed up the roadmap. Yes, we freeze the roadmap for quite a time to do this transformation, but now we are quicker. So what can we do to do things differently and replace shipyard? So the first thing was to try to reuse most open source possible in our stack. So first we talk about Managed Venture, which is quite a new project, a new service for us, but it was released, we work on it a bit before 2 years ago when we tried to think to rework our platform. So instead of starting from scratch, we go with what we did for Managed Venture. We already had a new platform with open source. So for Managed Venture, we use Open Cluster API and Argo CD. So for this new stack, we decided to go with them because we had experience with it and it matched our use case. So go. We had a new platform that we can work on and which is uniform with the other products we manage. So for us, it would be easier to maintain, and of course, all products. And the next part was to replace really Shipyard, the main components. So we had experience with Cluster API, so now why not replace Shipyard by it? So Shipyard do a lot of things. It's a monolith that do it all, but the three main things that it does is manage control planes for the customers, the customer nodes too, so creating instances on OpenStack, and deploying add-ons, so CNI, CSI, and things like that to have a fully functional clusters. So we think about all these points. The two first can be replaced by the Cluster API. So we use two providers. One is Kamaji. Kamaji is an open source project developed by Classics, which have a stand in Open Alpha Summit if you want to talk to them, which allow to deploy control plane in a hosted and multi-tenancy way. And via the Cluster API provider, so we just needed to put the brick all in the same place. In the same place, it will be working fine. For the OpenStack and the customer node, Cluster API has already a provider for that, which calls Capo, Cluster API Provider OpenStack. So just merging everything, and we have a fully functioning cluster, a fully up cluster, not with all the features, but that's a start. So now we just needed to deploy our things. We have something that we need to deploy, the CNI, the CSI, to really have a working clusters. And our custom-made components too. So to deploy them, we decided to use Argo CD. Argo CD was a tool we use in our platform for us, so why not using it for the customer? It's matched perfectly our use case, so let's go. And now we have fully replaced Shipyard by almost doing no code from outside and just managing open source projects that are production ready and really easier to maintain in the future. Capo and Cluster API do regularly upgrade that we can just follow instead of working 3 months to have something working. So it was the choice we made. So now the new infrastructure looks like this. So the orange part you see was what was doing Shipyard, and now we are using almost only open source things. So you can see Cluster API, Capo, Argo CD, and everything. The only part that I didn't talk about yet was MKS operators, was custom operators that we use to manage the other open source project where we deploy, because our public API needs to have a way to communicate with our platform and to ask for a cluster to be created and managed with this number of nodes, with this configuration and everything. So instead of controlling Cluster API and other resources, open source resources, we made an interface between them, which is called MKS operator. And with this, we can develop our own logic, but not to control how the control plane are created or how the nodes are created. We let this part by the open source project, and we just manage it using our own controller. So how we do? We created our custom resources, so MKS cluster and MKS node pool, a few other, but are the main ones. So MKS clusters is to create a managed Kubernetes cluster. So we just pass the configuration we need, so the tenant ID, the subnet we want, the network we want, the version we want, and things like that. And the controller will just create the cluster API resources, so cluster, Kamaji, OpenStack, and create the resources and let Cluster API and Argo CD do the work. For MKS node pool is the same thing. And with this, with just these two CRD, we can do all Shipyard was doing. So now let's look back and share with you, the experience we had and the problem we had.
Okay, just a quick recapitulative on timeline of our journey. We began in June 2024. We decided to take a part of the team. We decided to reduce the public roadmap of our project to take the time to implement a POC and check if our idea of revamping our project is viable or not. During the summer of this year, we also decided to check if we take the opportunity to rework the project, but more from a customer point of view, with the idea to deploy our project on new 3AZ data center, which are available at OVHcloud. And with this opportunity, maybe we can rework also the features which are available for our customer. After designing this new project, which we will name Standard, maybe Loïc will talk about it later. We just start to implement this new infrastructure, architecture, and new components which are required to rework our product. And in April, 1 year later, so April 2025, we start to open in a beta phase of our product, and thanks to our customer, which have been really important in this phase by sharing their feedback, find bug, just how to. They also describe the new use case that they want implement. Imagine, etc. We have success to finalize our product and then release this new stack of our product in September 2025. So this is really new, and the first region which has been delivered to customer relying on this new stack was in Paris in the new 3AZ data center, and we have at this moment communicate around the new offer of our product, which is named Standard, and which offer more feature to our customer, like dedicated TCD storage, like improve service level agreement, and a new feature which are in our roadmap and will come soon.
So, to talk about what we experienced during this 1 year project. It was time-consuming, more what we expected. So we freeze the roadmap to do this, but what we planned to freeze the roadmap during this time, we took a little bit longer. So our management was not very happy, but it's okay. Why we did it longer? So even if we add some already things what we can reuse, a lot was starting projects from scratch and building something new. We almost didn't reuse anything from what we had before, and everything was new, so it was good. It was fresh and really up to date, but it was a lot of work to do at first. The second thing was the beta. We opened the beta to our customer. It was free during this period, so a lot of customers tried and provided us feedback. It also allowed us to prioritize some feature because it didn't when we opened the beta, all the feature was not developed yet. So the legacy stack was allowing to do more things than the standard plan at the time. But with the help of customer, we prioritized what feature was the most important before the release. And it will help the beta also help us to fix issues and things like that. The other part was open source. It will really help us to go faster at least. And we receive help from the community so Kamaji or Cluster API really help us to fine-tune the solution we had. We also did some contribution because we obviously run into some bugs into the code. So in Cluster API or Capo or Kamaji, with the help of the community, we do some fixing, and we plan to do more. But the thing that really helped us to go fast was a lot of feature was already there in the open source project, so we just needed to expose them to our customers. And doing that, we, in 1 year, recreated the project with all the features, and everything works well now. So good. Now what's next? So we need to deploy this new stack everywhere. So first we'll focus on new region where we are not deployed yet. So OVH is deployed in this region, but Managed Kubernetes is not. So the next one will be Milan, then Mumbai, and for the following years we'll be deployed in a lot of new regions, and working on migrating all the legacy cluster we have, to the new stack and allow our product to grow. With everything that we've done, we can now start to working on the roadmap again, and much quicker than before. So we are working with a lot of things. So integrate the OpenStack Floating IP to our customer nodes. We currently do have public IP on the node, but not the floating IP of OpenStack. So a little bit of improvement there. The multi-CNI support. So for the new plan that with the new stack, we use Cilium, but we also need to support Calico and the others. So we're working on that. And allow the customization of this CNI because to allow the customer to fine-grain what they need to do, like encryption or things like that. Improve the upgrade strategy. So it was in the roadmap before, it's still there. So now we can focus on it, and it will be really fast thanks to the Cluster API. And the last part, improve autoscaler. Now, as we are in a more open source environment, we can benefit from the autoscaler already present and just integrate it with our stack. You can find all this in our public roadmap, which is a GitHub. So do not hesitate to check it out. And if you want us to work on something, create an issue, and our product team will evaluate it and plan it as soon as possible. So thank you for your attention. If you have any question,